The term temporary altered stitch memory sounds like it should be cool, but what in the world is it? Here is something that Bernina has had since day one when they introduced a computerized sewing machine, something that I love. So let's say I'm sewing with a straight stitch, but I've made it longer. I'm making the stitch length maybe up to 3.5. And then I go to a zigzag, and I've made it maybe a little wider for my project, maybe a little longer. And then you notice that the yellow numbers means I've turned it off the default settings, the way the manufacturer has set it to be in the machine. But then I leave this stitch and go back to my straight stitch. You will notice that on a Bernina, your stitch length remains the same. There's so many machines out there that when we bounce between two stitches, once you leave the stitch, the setting is cleared out. You need a sticky note to remind you what you were using, and then you have to go back and put it back. During the time the machine is on, the settings that you have done, whether it's needle position, length, width, those are things that are going to be remembered. And actually, even some of the features that are in here. So if you flipped a stitch, for example, mirror image, so it just moved it to the side. But when I come back, I leave that stitch and I come back, it is still mirror image because I see something is on in this information area. I can go in there, oh yeah, I put the mirror image on because that's the yellow box that's on it. I can go and turn that off. But look, it even still remembers the length that I changed it, here the length and width that I changed it, and every stitch can have it be tweaked for stitch length, stitch width, needle position, and some of the other functions. And as soon as you turn the machine off, that will clear it out. And I do like the fact that if I push my clear button, it only clears the stitch I'm on. So if I clear that one but go back to the zigzag, notice the settings are still set for the zigzag that I had altered it to. So that's why it's called temporary altered stitch memory. That is just the while you changed it, and of course clearing it once it turns off. Now if you want to set this, so this is the stitch width and length that it always comes up with, you can go into the eye for information and touch right here where the little save feature is. When you turn the machine off and on tomorrow, you will notice that this is now your new zigzag. It still will be yellow, so you'll know, oh yeah, that's right, that's my setting, but you will not have to set it yourself. It will be remembered each time you turn the machine on. Now when you're ready to clear out that setting, because that's not what you want it to always pop up as, you can just hit the unsave button and that will clear it back out and not retain any settings. So you can have it temporary just for the day that you have it on, or permanent if you use the save setting options. And again, every stitch in this machine can be saved for the way you sew. That is one thing I love about the Bernina, because your sewing style and my sewing style are totally different. So add in the millions of other Bernina users out there, we're all different. So Bernina gives us the opportunity to customize your very own machine.